welcome everyone here with us to celebrate at the George Darte Funeral Home the kickoff of the Darte Wellness Center with us today. Okay? This has been a dream that our staff has had, okay, that we have brought to fruition. And my name is Greg Pinder. I'm going to be your Master of Ceremonies today. Okay? So I have an opportunity to introduce George Darte. George is the owner of the Darte Funeral Home. And I know that normally if I say that, I don't think there's a person in here that doesn't know George. But anyway. I don't. Okay. It is the 100% locally owned family business. And George is very, very proud of what he's accomplished here. And this is the next stage of what we're going to, and Susan and Taylor will give you more details on it. But it's my opportunity to introduce, what'd you say, Ozzy? Well, you wanted to introduce George. Oh no, you told me the other day when the mayor was here with George, Mayor Cisco, that you were too shy to be able to introduce George today. So if you say you still want to do it, oh, you're still too shy. Okay. Ozzy, between Ozzy and myself, George Darte.
Thanks, Greg. As unaccustomed as I am to public speaking, I'll give it a go anyways. Each and every one of you is a dignitary as far as I'm concerned. I know we've got some city councillors that are here. Matt Cisco couldn't be here today, our mayor. He had another commitment right now, but he was here yesterday and he saw what's taking place here as well, so it was nice to have Matt here. And we have regional council represented here as well. Our firm, back in 1979, started a grief recovery outreach program. I was telling some of our guests, the first time, and we didn't know it, we sort of thought we knew what we were doing, but we weren't quite sure. We had 79 people come to that first meeting, and we thought, oh my God, what are we going to do? But we figured it out, and other than COVID, we've been running a grief recovery outreach program since 1979. And it's not me, trust me, it's not me. It's the team that have helped this firm over the years to have that grief recovery outreach program continue. And it continues today with our Susan that you'll hear a little later as well. And now this is just something that we want to give back to our community, and that is to help grief support and help grieving children. Grieving children are the ones that are really, really hurting. And sometimes they're the forgotten mourners as far as I'm concerned. Adults get busy with their children, with their friends and so on, but the children are left on their own. So you'll hear more about that as well. I also want to thank very much, not just Susan and Greg and Brendan and a bunch of our other team members. I want to thank all of our team that are here today because you help and assist the families that we serve, and we're privileged and we're honored to serve on a daily basis. And we strive to, and I got a couple of notes here, we strive to empower our community to honor their grief, find meaning in their loss, and embark on a path towards healing and renewal. So it's time for us, our firm, to redefine our excellence in giving to each other and to our family and to our friends. So the Darte Wellness Center supports individuals to move from grief to growth. For us as a team, it means building new programs and pathways. So Susan Kalchman, I'll introduce her in just a moment. Susan has been, I know she's hired a kite here. She is so excited about this. Susan's been with us for 7 years now, and she's just been a wonderful welcome addition. So this is part of her vision, her dream, and her sense of fulfillment as well. So Susan, come ahead, please, and I'll leave it with you. Thank you.
Thank you, George. He's right. I am so excited. I could barely sleep last night. It was like, oh, I'm excited. It's with immense joy and gratitude that I welcome everyone. It's so nice to see so many familiar faces out there, colleagues, and so many members of our Niagara community. This wellness center is more than just a building. It's a testament to our collective commitment to be Niagara's Centre of Excellence in the funeral profession. We will set the standard for excellence by elevating the care and support that our families and children need after their loved ones have passed. It stands as a beacon of hope and healing, a place where individuals, both young and old, will be able to honor their grief, however big or small, and find meaning in their loss. In a world that moves at a frenzied pace, it's easy to neglect our well-being. Grief gives us a job. It's a command to slow down, to turn inward, and to recalibrate living in a world without our partner, our mom, our dad, our brother, our sister, our grandma, our grandpa, or our son or daughter. When we first envisioned this center, the Darte Wellness Center, I realized that for it to be successful, it required 3 focal points to serve the foundation for the level of care for our families. These are 1 higher, 2 greater, 3 deeper. First, higher. We will provide a higher standard of care within the funeral profession that will push boundaries. Funerals are changing, and so are we. We will support individuals with end-to-end care when they walk through those doors. Grief is unpredictable and messy. It's not just about the funeral for us, it's now looking after you after we say goodbye. We have curated a small lending library, which is over where Brock is standing. This library has books for children, adults, and caregivers. These are the books that deal with real difficult topics such as suicide. Books on how to tell the children that their mother has passed. We currently offer our highly successful grief recovery program. This adult-based program is 6 weeks long. In September, it will be our 2nd anniversary since I've joined. We have seen 176 bereaved individuals work hard through the program, and I'm the lucky one. I have 176 lovely new friends. Thank you all for coming. Our new parental loss program will be exclusively for parents and grandparents who have lost a child. It provides a safe space for parents to share their immense grief with others who understand this sacred place. 2nd, greater. We will provide greater support to those struggling with their grief. Children grieve differently than adults. It's latent for children. In response, we have focused our efforts this spring to build a space specifically designed for children. And this is our new children's room where my sweet Aubrey friend is standing. And I'd love for you to all take a look at how we have curated it to make this small space a safe space. And Aubrey loves it, so it's Aubrey approved. We also have welcomed a new member to our team here at George Darte. He's friendly, he's cuddly, and he has a sweet face. And we're not talking about George. We would like you to all meet Ozzy, right here. Ozzy is named after George's dad, Osgood Darte. When a child comes to the George Darte Funeral Home, they will be given Ozzy as part of their package. Our hope is that Ozzy brings a little bit of comfort to children who are navigating their grief. Lastly, deeper. We will provide a deeper connection with every family we serve. We will have ongoing follow-up to make sure you, as the griever, are coping with your loss through our programs. Our aftercare specialists will assist families with completing administrative duties, and our community outreach team will visit groups in the community that may lack access to our services. Both programs have been carefully curated to ensure our commitment to our community is our #1 priority. Before I would finish, though, I'd like to introduce our 2 guests. I would like to recognize George and the management team and the wonderful staff here, and they're too many to name. None of this vision would have been possible without their leadership, unwavering support, and dedication to this program. So I'd like to thank all of you. We are a family filled with diverse expertise, lots of passion, and genuine care in the families that we serve, and I applaud each and every one of you. Chinese philosopher Lao Tzu once said that a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Let us embrace this first step, for today the seed is planted. That will be the initial step for journey from grief to growth. It is with great excitement that I introduce the next speaker, Taylor and her wonderful daughter, Aubrey. I have had the honor of knowing both of these 2 special people for 2 years now. I met this courageous young woman at her husband's funeral here at the funeral home. right in this room. While universal is loss, grief is always individualized and idiosyncratic. There is no special formula for determining what journey will look like. What, however, was particularly evident was Taylor embodies the word grace in her grief. I was struck by her bravery and courage as she greeted guests with her supportive family by her side. This visitation process for a seasoned adult is heart-wrenching and exhausted. I watched this young woman soothe guests with their grief, and I was in awe of her maturity. I knew that she was a very special person from our brief encounter, and I wanted to get to know her more. Taylor is a beacon of light, and her daughter is a ray of sunshine that lights up any room, as you all probably have witnessed. I have been the lucky one. I am so fortunate to have worked with both these girls and have watched them morph from grief to growth. Taylor is now a guest speaker that attends my group to speak on her intimate journey with losing her husband Wes at such a young age. Her struggles as a single mom and the loss of predictability in her life that many of us could never fathom. Her capability of openly putting her grief appropriately aside when she is needed to help her young daughter Aubrey process the passing of her dad is remarkable to watch. They don't put Wes's grief in a corner. Aubrey will openly share that her dad is in heaven. They talk about him with pride and joy. They both give me inspiration and hope for what is possible. Please welcome Taylor.
Hi everyone. As Sue introduced me, my name is Taylor Delicio, and with me today is my beautiful daughter, Aubrey. I want to start off by thanking each and every one of you for being here today and taking time on your busy schedules to support such an amazing grand opening. Today is so important to me for many reasons. I have watched a lovely woman's dream come to life. I've had the privilege of being a part of the hard work to create today, and I am so honored to stand up here to support this next chapter at George Darte Funeral Home. Grief from the loss of a loved one is something that impacts so many of us. For some, we are able to continue moving forward, navigating through small challenges and hiccups. But for others, the journey through grief isn't so easy. Many people struggle and suffer after they lose a loved one. Trying to get back on their feet or find purpose again in life can feel next to impossible. Daily tasks can be unbearable, and the constant reminder that their loved one is gone can rip at their heart over and over again. I know that feeling all too well. The struggles, the pain, the heartbreak. On May 4th, 2022, I walked through the double doors of this very funeral home. I was meeting with the funeral director to plan the funeral of my husband, Wes. Wes had just turned 31 6 weeks prior to his passing. Aubrey was just over a year and a half, and I was 29 at the time. Never in a million years did I think that I'd be laying my husband to rest at the age of 29. Never in a million years did I think I'd be entering my 30s widowed with a small child. Never in a million years did I think I would be sharing my story on how grief has impacted mine and my daughter's lives. But here I am. I've learned that death doesn't care how old you are, what nationality you are, how kind or how funny you are. Death doesn't care how much money you have or how many people you have helped. The truth is that when it's your time, and nothing can stop that. I struggled after Wes died. I struggled trying to navigate through the life I had just been handed. I struggled trying to support Aubrey through her grief. I struggled trying to figure out what our life was going to look like and what our next steps would be. I struggled to navigate through my grief and all the emotions that I was experiencing. Everything I knew, everything we were building was gone in the blink of an eye. The plans to continue building our family, the trips, the career changes, the ways that we were going to embarrass our kids, the restaurants we wanted to try, our day-to-day routines, the years of memories we were supposed to create had all disappeared. I was now facing this life alone without a say in it all. I was handed a life I didn't want and was expected to just live with it. Aubrey also struggled after her dad died. She went from this little girl who was full of energy and independent to a little girl who panicked whenever she couldn't see me and needed to be by my side around the clock. She went from rarely getting upset to having explosive meltdowns that would last 30 minutes or longer. She went from having a head full of thick, curly hair to barely having any hair left on her head because she was pulling it out as a self-soothe mechanism when she would fall asleep. Just because Aubrey was only a year and a half when her dad passed away doesn't mean she didn't feel the loss. Even though she couldn't verbally express how she was feeling, doesn't mean she wasn't grieving. And even though she wasn't old enough to understand death and what it meant, doesn't mean her little body didn't feel pain. It was so difficult to watch Aubrey try to navigate her grief. I felt helpless as I watched her suffer, trying to make sense of what happened to her little world. Trying to find support for Aubrey was very difficult and next to impossible to find. Every organization I reached out to had some gap between the support we needed and what they could offer. I felt like I was failing my daughter and trying to get her the help she needed. Here she was, struggling with the loss of her dad, and I couldn't help her. If it wasn't for this beautiful woman, Sue, I don't know where Aubrey and I would be today. Without her big bag of tricks and her beautiful and vibrant personality, I don't know if Aubrey and I would be as good as we are. Sue helped me help Aubrey. She worked with me to create a plan to support Aubrey through her grief. Together, Sue and I built a net around Aubrey to catch her as she fell. My journey hasn't been easy and it hasn't been pretty. I've gone through it all. I've hit my rock bottoms and had to pull myself out. I've hit my breaking points more times than I can count. I let my grief rob me of precious moments that I will never get back. I've begged far too many times for my grief to go away, for this loss to stop hurting so much. I've had to battle my way through my grief to be where I am today. Even though Aubrey and I were handed a terrible situation, we've managed to take our lemons and make some pretty sweet lemonade. We found our bright light through all of the darkness, and we have found our spark again. We've adopted the try and try again motto, failing many times before we figure it out. Together we have weathered many storms, but every time we come out stronger and more determined than before. Even though we were thrown into a life we didn't ask for, I'd say we have begun to build a pretty amazing life together, and I'm so excited for what the future holds for us. I've had a lot of healing to do on my own, even though I wish I didn't have to. The reality is that there is little support for young family and young children facing the loss of a loved one. There is a huge gap between the final goodbye and the support afterwards. I was so fortunate to have met Sue. I have been so blessed to have Sue as a constant and Aubrey in my life over the past 2 years. But most people don't have a Sue in their life. They don't have access to someone who can guide them and support them. Many people suffer because they don't have a place to go. That's why I'm so excited for today. Darte Wellness Center is helping close the gap between the loss of a loved one and the support needed to navigate the grief that comes after. Today marks an important step forward in our community in supporting those who have lost a loved one and having resources available when they need it. Today is a step closer in bridging the gap between facing death, navigating grief, and finding that beautiful life again that so many deserve to live. Each one of you here today play an important role in supporting those in our community who are grieving. You are leaders and protectors. You provide support and guidance, and you help create a future for those trying to figure it out. When families and individuals leave this facility, they walk out into our community. When we stand together to support those in our community, we are reaching out a hand, letting them know they aren't alone. Together, we can make a difference. Being here today might not seem like a big deal to you, but from the bottom of mine, Aubrey's, our families, and many others, we say thank you. Now I'd like to ask you to turn your direction to the screen. We have a video we'd like to show you.
Ozzy last night, she loved me and she loved my bed because I'm so comfy. He loved my blanket. I tucked him in and like a little pillow, but he didn't have a pillow, so I need a little pillow.
You're requesting a little pillow?
Yeah,
For Ozzy?
because Ozzy doesn't like when she lays down. It's kind of hard for him.
Oh. So you're asking Sue for a little pillow for Ozzy?
Yeah.
All right, but Ozzy loves our house? Does he make your heart happy?
Yes.
Oh, wonderful. We love that. Thanks, Sue, for Ozzy.
Thanks you for the fuzzy.
So I have a special present for Aubrey. A little pillow for Ozzy and a blanket.
Wowee!
Oh, and we have something else.
Oh, wow. Oh my, is that for me? Just have a little pail of treats for you. Just what mommy needs. Good to see you. You're welcome. That's a great thank you.
Isn't that wonderful, ladies and gentlemen? To be able to hear about what we're doing and the results of what has gone before us, and our technician over there, it is wonderful. This is an incredible opportunity at the Darte Funeral Home to reach out to the community because, as Sue has pointed out, there was not the help that was required out there for the grief. And we believe that putting this program together, and it is a start to where we believe we will be as an end result. So I want at this point to get George and Pat to come forward.
I'm here.
Up here, George. Okay, we're going to cut the ribbon. Okay, because if any of you have not had a chance to come and go through our child grief support room that we have developed here, we have the lending library and we have the child support grief room that we have here. And Susan has put this together, not, and I say this carefully, it's not a playroom, it is a support room for children who need a special area and a special program. So I'd like to call, there they are. Okay, Taylor and Audrey, would you please cut the ribbon? Now, I also want to point out, okay, there's a couple of other things that we have here. You'll see up here, there's little bowls of hearts. And it says,
Need a heart?
take a heart. And what that is for people to be able, when you're thinking of a loved one, someone who's special in your life, take a heart, okay? So you can think about that person. And if there's somebody special, that has a special color, take that color to go with you. And take a heart, and you can take that heart to somebody that needs something special, and you can give that heart. Okay? So this is part of the programs we're doing. So we'd like everyone today to take a heart, okay, and to think of somebody special. Okay? So I would like to thank everybody. Did I miss anything? Oh, yes. The snacks, okay. That was coming with the next one. Okay, so everyone here, you'll see that we've set up in the room, and it is Karen's catering. When you look at this special thing that she's prepared for us, okay, she has been an incredible addition to the funeral home here, because what she puts together as part of the events is just incredible. So there's a little treat for everybody. You can either take the treat, stand around, talk to us, okay? We're here for a while, okay? Or you can take it with you, okay? Because I know numerous people have to get back to the work that they took this special hour off for. So I want to sincerely thank everybody for joining us today to be part of the Darte Wellness Center and this special occasion and process that we have. I want to thank you. But just before we close, I want to also call Susan up here. Okay, if you could come forward. I have only been with Dartes for a very short time, but when I came in to Dartes here, there was a young lady that came to me and said, I have a program, and here's what my dream is. Okay, and I realized very quickly, my job was just to say yes. Okay? She is a powerhouse. She is a force to be reckoned with. And I think everybody who knows her and has experienced her, she develops the programs. She gives the programs. She is incredible. And she was the one, not only did she put the room together, as we stood in there and said, by the way, we need to paint it, she gets the paintbrush up. Okay? So I would like to have two things for you. First of all, these beautiful flowers. Let's say thank you. Okay.
That's so sweet.
We also have a picture that we had done up and a plaque that's going to go in the room on a permanent basis, and it says the Darte Wellness Center, Susan's Vision. For you to take home.
I never looked this good. Thank you. Thank you. It's been my pleasure. Like I said, Greg, Brenda, and this guy right here, they've been so supportive. So thank you, all three of you, for everything. They've been amazing. And thanks to the staff. They have been amazingly supportive too. Thank you. Thank you. And we'll enjoy.
Okay, we have Susan, Taylor, and Aubrey, and the staff around here. If you have other questions that you'd like to have answered about the program, we do have brochures. Take one with you. We do have a number of people that we have Aussies for, okay, and I think we have asked them to stay behind. We'd like a picture, okay, with your Aussie, and for you to be able to take it home or to your business with you. Because Ozzy's going to be going on adventures. Ozzy's going to go rowing with George. He's going to go fishing. Okay? He's going to go and see what you do. He went with the mayor for a day at City Hall. Okay? And so we're hoping that, again, this is part of the child, as I say, we have the police Ozzy, we have the fire Ozzy, okay? Someplace we even have a George Darte Wellness Ozzy, okay? So just everybody that we've got Aussies for, make sure you come forward. We want to get your pictures, okay? And we thank everybody for being here today, and we thank everybody for being part of what our goal is and part of what I call Susan's Vision. So thank you. That's it.